Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you are doing well. Because it's going to be a short training, so we are going to start. And I hope I'm standing between you and your lunch, I think, for some of you. So I hope that this will be an appetizer for you. And for all those who are okay and willing, please switch on your videos because that's going to be an exercise and you are going to be broken up into the groups and you get to see each other and make some friends, hopefully. Okay, so it's a 30-minute introduction to pronouns. Let me just share my screen. I think that everybody can see my screen. Just hang on. Yes, now I can see everybody as well. The International Pronouns Day was founded in 2018. It was an independent grassroots project. Thanks for joining me. My name is Rain. I am a DEI consultant and I work across Singapore and India. So we are friends from two countries this time round. So very welcome to all of you. And International Pronouns Day is on every third Wednesday in October. And let's see, here you have a chart. And today's training is going to be more fun, informal, casual. I'm also in a special room where the lights go off every 10 minutes, power saving. So you see me moving around and that's a signal that you know the lights have gone off. So we're going to learn pronouns in 15 different languages over the next 30 minutes, 2 minutes each. No, just joking. That's the wrong lesson. Just trying to bring your attention into this training. You can stop thinking about the previous and upcoming meetings for now, and I hope that you will enjoy this session that is brought to you by Saira. Saira is a recruiter that helps with diversifying your talent database. So here's the actual intro slide. Gender is one of the many parts of our identity, and the use of pronouns recognizes that part of our identity. It is of particular importance to the trans and non-binary community. First of all, some terminologies. In some countries, transgender is an umbrella term that includes non-binary. In this training, we are using transgender and non-binary separately so that it's not too confusing. Okay. For transgender persons, I'm a trans man. Most of us question our gender identity for years before coming to terms with it. And when we accept ourselves, but we don't pass as the gender we identify with, that's when we go through being misgendered or misgendering. When we decide to transition visibly, that's also when we work through many difficult relationships, and many trans persons I know start going through harassment or even discrimination at work because of their transitioning. The topic of pronouns is also important for non-binary persons. Many non-binary persons don't feel the need to transition medically. In more traditional and conservative settings, their identities are often hidden. In very gendered contexts, such as hospitals, toilets, social settings, they may experience gender dysphoria, which is the sense that you are not in the right body that you identify with in terms of gender-wise, or they may feel excluded. So we have participants from the two countries today. I will touch a little on the history of gender diverse persons in our societies. In Singapore, you have 5 genders from the Bugis who came from Indonesia. The term bisu, and I think that you can see up at the top right-hand corner of the slide. The term bisu refers to those who are neither female or male. Traditionally, they take the roles of priest, shaman, and mediums. I think that sounds a bit familiar to our Indian friends as well. The term kalalai refers to those who are born male but take on female roles, and kalabai is the opposite. For the Chinese, we have the eunuchs from China who used to serve in the palace, who date more than 2000 years ago. In India, the third gender is found in some spiritual texts, dating back more than 2000 years ago as well. Hijra are feminine identifying people assigned male at birth. While they have a spiritual role to play in blessing sons, they are marginalized and sometimes engaged for sex work. And during the British occupation, Hijras came under the Criminal Tribals Act of 1871. The Hijras were systematically registered, monitored, and restricted in their movements and traditional livelihoods. Now, with the more visibility of trans persons through activists such as Kalki Subramaniam, Gauri Sawant, Lakshmi, trans persons are finally gaining access to more education, opportunities, and employment. Trans men are also gaining more visibility. Although they were actually mentioned in the Manusmriti and Kama Sutra, they didn't really have much visibility in the Indian society. And this, you'll find it to be quite a common pattern around the world where trans men, like myself, we just blend into society. Okay, moving on. And imagine, how would you feel if you were constantly addressed with the wrong pronouns? You can type your response in the chat. How would you feel if you were constantly addressed with the wrong pronouns? Any brave souls? Just sharing? I can see that everybody is religiously muted. Okay. Later on, there's going to be an interactive session where you have to practice on the use of the pronouns. I think it's a great thing for everybody, because if this is a safe space to learn, and it allows us to make the errors so that we can practice, stumble over, and then you feel that it will be easier for you to use outside of this session once you have overcome actually trying it for the first time. So how would you feel if you were constantly addressed with the wrong pronouns? Disrespected, disrespectful. Pushpa, thank you for that. And you might find it quite disconcerting, or may not even respond if you are a miss and the service staff keep saying that you are Mr. Mistreated, thank you, Crystal. And did you know that it's harder to recognize the gender of another person when they are from a different culture? Oh, Crystal, she can't seem to connect to the audio. Is there a way that we can switch on? Crystal, is your captions working? Are you able to switch on your captions? Another way is to leave and come back. Nandan, could you please help Crystal with troubleshooting, please? I'll continue the session. Pamela, you would correct them a few times. Yes, that's what it feels like as well for trans people many times, is you correct them a few times. After that, if they don't get it, then, they're just being respectful. So did you know that it's harder to recognize a gender of someone from a different culture? Let's look at this picture. So, for example, this is a picture of America's first trans boxer. He is black and he has faced discrimination after coming out in actually 2018 as well, as other pro boxers would not fight him. And some trans people travel to other countries to experience living life as the gender we identify with, to have a sense of whether that is our gender identity. So here's a range of pronouns. We are going to do a little exercise in the next slide. This list is not exhaustive, and of course, this is only in English. In other languages, you would also have non-binary pronouns as well. That's something that's emerging. And all of them should look quite familiar except for these. What's the, them, and what's the, here. The and the is the same. It indicates that the person is a gender or pan gender. Is very often used by non-binary